welcome to episode 36 of my Yarny Corner. My name's Alex and I live in Yorkshire in the UK, and this is a podcast all about knitting and crochet. So welcome everybody, I hope you're all okay and I hope you've had a lovely crafty week. Today is Wednesday the 20th of July. Much cooler in the UK than it has been. I'm not even going to start on the weather. I'm just not going to start on the weather. If you can see that on my face, I'm really sorry. I think I've been bitten by something. Hello? You can say hello? Obviously Stuart had something to say. So yeah, you just have to ignore that. I don't know what that is. Anyway, so this will go onto YouTube tomorrow. I'll try and schedule it for 9 AM like I have been doing. And yes, you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry and email. I'll leave all the information below about where you can find me. I'm most active on Instagram. I'm better than I was on Ravelry, but I'm still not great. There is a Facebook page for this podcast, which I'm not brilliant at either. I'm not even brilliant at Instagram, to be honest. But I'm better than I have been. So, what have we got to talk about today? There are no finished objects. Obviously, I started way too many things and there's no way I could have finished everything in a week. Let's get my hair sorted out. It's still very warm. I'm not even going to talk about the weather. We all know it's been hot. I'm not going to talk about it. But we have plenty of whips. We've got a few incoming goodies. Now, what shall we start with? Shall we just get on with the whips? I think, yeah, we'll just get on with the whips. So, living in this bag. This is one of the ones that I made for myself. I showed you last week I was wanting to start the Miles cardigan. Well, it's not. It's called the Miles shirt jacket. Now, let me see if I can bring up the cover picture. This is it. And I want this for winter, because I hate wearing coats. This pattern was actually gifted to me by my friend. So I was a little bit intimidated by the pattern last week. So thank you all for your advice on the short rows. After looking at the pattern, these, I'll just hide that part of the pattern there. This is where the short rows are going to be on this section here. You see, I'm not sure I like them after all that. So I think I'm just going to do mine straight after all that drama. Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to bother with the short rows, but I did start the pattern. So this is how far I have got. Obviously not picked it up for a few days, but this is how far I've got so far. So you do the back first, and then you'll pick up and do the front, pick up and do the other front, and then join it all together when you get so far. Is that twisted? Please tell me that's not twisted. No, it's not. And then join it all together, so that I've not got very far at the minute and I'm just into the stocking stitch now, but this is Aran weight and there is no way I can work on this at the moment. Even holding it on my arms, it's too hot. I was a little bit concerned about the size of it because it looks really small, doesn't it? Now, it did say to have 10, I think it was 10 to 11 inches of positive ease. And I thought, with it being an Aran weight, it's going to look ginormous. So I've cut the positive ease down to about 5 inches, I think. So I'm not sure this is going to work out how I want it to work out. But I just thought 11 inches of positive ease on an Aran weight is going to be huge. So it does fit. I don't know if I can put it on without all the needles are sticking in my back. Obviously I can't pull it round because the needles are on, but it does fit. We'll see. And it's got the collar and the button band to go on yet. I don't want it massive, I really don't. Oops. So, really enjoying it so far. I've had no problems with it so far. I love this little detail on the shoulder. Can you see that? Isn't it gorgeous? It's absolutely beautiful. I'm happy with the colour. I've used the Mariner's Yarns. I've shown this before. I went onto the Mariner's Yarns website and I bought a cone of Aran, and I also have a cone of a 4-ply in yellow. It's lovely, lovely yarn. Really, really soft. So I'm just working my way through that and keeping my fingers crossed that I've got enough. So yeah, there's not a great deal of us to say about it. Now, what needles am I using? Can't even see that. 6mm needles. Yeah. So I've started it. It's on the way. I worked on it all Thursday and Friday last week. I was so annoyed with myself. Was it Friday? I'd spent most of Friday just knitting. I decided to have a knitting day, and I did so much on this, and then realised when you're doing, where is it? When you're doing the rows, it'll say, not this, just for example, it's a paid for pattern, I won't give anything away, but it'll say repeat rows 3 and 4 22 times. So obviously you would repeat for a total number of 44 rows. And I didn't do it, I just repeated 2 rows 22 times. So I've missed off an entire 22 rows. Twice, not just once, twice. So it was, I was looking at it thinking, why is it so small? That was why. So I had to pull it all back. I'd done an entire front, and yeah, no, I pulled back an entire front, restarted it, then did it again. So I had to pull it back again. So I was not impressed at all, but it's getting there. So that is that. I have only worked on 3 projects this past week. This one, my Stephen West, and my sock tube. It has been too hot to work on anything else. So this may be a shorter episode. Right. Pop that in there. So, how did we get on with the Stephen West? Well, you all know that I have been stuck on section 1 forever. Did I get past section 1 or did I not? I'm going to drag this out as long as I can. Put it down here so you can't get a peek yet. Oh, I'm stuck on something. Are you ready? Are you ready? And it's all tangled. You can see, can't you? Finally did section 1. I can't hold it up properly now. There we go. So I have moved on to section 2. Finally got some different colours. Now, these have got short rows in them, so I've got stitch markers on. But yeah, look at that. These 2 colours. I haven't even told you what the pattern is, have I? For those of you that are new, I am very sorry. This is the Vertices Unite by Stephen West. Now, if I hold that like that, and hold that like that, you can see it. There we go. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous pattern. Now, I decided if I was going to do it, I was going to do the large version, not the small version. So it's really taking some getting through. Section 1 took me much longer than it should have done. It was just knit stitches. It should have been so much quicker than it was, but I got so bored of this. This section is much smaller. There's not even half the rows of this section that was on that, so it's going to be much, much smaller. And by the time I start getting bored of this section, it'll be done. Now, the yarn I'm using for this section is, these are both Living in My Yarn Sacks by my lovely friend Sue, who has the Tangled Skein Etsy shop. I will link that down below. These come, before I show you the yarn, I'll go on to this little tangent. These bags that she makes are fantastic. I fold them down, but they come like this. And they're great. You can put a pair of socks in them. They've got poppers on them, so you can close them as well. They're absolutely fantastic. But I like to fold the tops down as I just had it. There we go, like this. And then what I do when I've got 2 skeins of yarn is, other way Alex, I popper both bags together like that so they don't come apart, and it is so much easier when you're using 2 skeins. They're absolutely brilliant. I love these bags. In fact, I've been nattering for more. I have another one but I can't find it. She made me this gorgeous sloth one and I thought it was in another project bag. It has gone missing, totally gone missing. I'm so annoyed, so I only have these 2 now. Anyway, so the yarn is, this green one is by Megan at Pearl Passion. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's all greens and greys and just beautiful. And I'm pairing it with one of Danny's basic greys. This is one of our yarns that Danny dyes, and that's that one. So really, really excited to be on section 2. And section 3, I get to use this one, which I can't wait to use. This is my Cabin Boy Knits yarn that my friend Sue got me from Knit City. I'm so itching to use that. So that's section 3. So yeah, I'm really impressed. And in fact, sorry, my hair's in my eyes. In the heat this week, this has been a godsend to work on because it's so long and thin. It literally curled up off my lap, out of the way, and I could just knit. It was really, really good. It's all 4-ply yarn, so you would need 5 skeins in total to make the vertices unite. I'm not sure how much of each skein I'll use. For the other ones, for section 1, I've got that left in the purple and that left in the orange, so quite a big difference. I don't know why, because I've used the same amount of yarn, so I've no idea why there's such a difference in that. I wonder if they weigh the same. Let me have a look. 51 grams of this left and 25 grams of this left. How does that work? I don't know. And I don't think I come back to those colours. I may do. Hang on, let me have a look. A and B. Oh yeah, I'll use A again in section 5. And I will use B in section 6. But section 6 I want to, here's what I'm looking at here. This section I want grey. So I'm hoping I'll have enough of the grey left for this section. But yeah, we'll see. So I'm really, really pleased to be done with section 1. I'm absolutely over the moon to be done with section 1. I love the Vertices Unite. That's Danny sneezing. Sorry. I've admired it for so long and it's definitely a product knit. So I'm just going to work away on that for the next week. So that is that. Oh, I feel like I'm rushing. It's still warm. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about the weather. And 13 minutes in, I'm already talking about the weather. Danny's laughing at me over here. But it's still so warm and muggy. We haven't had any rain yet, and we just need rain. And I just feel like I'm melting. And I know all of you that live outside of the UK, in America and Canada and Australia, are saying this is nothing. But in the UK, for us, it really is. We're not built for this weather. And our roads aren't designed for this weather. We've had roads buckling, we've had train tracks buckling. We had a huge fire in Ilkley yesterday because a cable snapped, which caused a huge fire. There's been fires everywhere. We're just not designed for this weather. And I'm melting. Right, my sock tube. So, now, I've no idea where I was last week. I think I was about here actually. So I've done a fair bit on this. Not as much as I thought I would have done actually. And I have still got 15 grams of this yarn left. This was only a 50 gram skein and there is still 15 grams. So I've done 170 rounds so far. I did not think I would get that many rounds at all out of 50 grams. But I've still got 15 grams left, so I'm easily, I think, going to get to 200 rounds. Easily, if not a few more. And then I'm going to cut this up and make thought I was going to get a pair of shorty socks. But I think if I get to 200 rounds, they're not going to be that shorty socks. But it's absolutely gorgeous. It's just working away on just a sock tube. I'm going to put the cuff on the other side. The yarn that I'm using for the cuffs are... Oops. This is one out of stash. I've had it since I started making socks. I think it's a truly rich wool. And I've had it a really long time. So we've got that. And then a Somerset Yarns, which is this red one, which is really, really gorgeous. So I'm just working away on that. I'm hoping to have these finished by next week, but we shall see. When I finish this, I might... Oops, I'm all tangled again. I might do a little tutorial for this on how to turn it into a pair of socks from a sock tube. Unless I get stuck, we'll see. So, I've got a hair on it as well. Does anybody else get hairs on things? I knit so many hairs into my projects. And that is it for all of my works in progress. I haven't done a great deal over the past couple of days at all. Just nothing. I just couldn't knit. But we have got some incoming goodies, so I'm going to show you those. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is a new pattern that I've got. I had a Ko-fi donation last week, which thank you so much. I'm not going to name who it was, but thank you so much. You know who you are. So I bought a new pattern. I'll put a picture on the screen. It is the Rocket DK. I've done the Rocket T and I absolutely love that pattern. It's gorgeous. And she brought out a DK version. I'm not sure if she brought out the DK version first or after. I'm not sure. I first saw it on Calm as a Stitch podcast run by Tonya, and she had made it and it's absolutely beautiful. So I've admired it ever since. So when I got the Ko-fi donation, I did buy the pattern. So thank you so much for that. So obviously this morning I went out and bought the yarn for it. I was going to start it at the weekend, but again, I didn't actually have any yarn, to be honest. Excuse the rustling. I was very specific about what yarn I wanted. So I have got 5 of these balls of yarn. Now the colourway is 973. It's called Olympus Double Knitting. Just 100% acrylic. And it's kind of like that forest green colour. But what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to do it all in one colour. But after I've split for the sleeves, I'm going to do a cream stripe across the front. So it'll go across the front and on each sleeve as well, which I thought would look really, really nice. So I'm super excited about that. So I'll start that maybe at the weekend. So thank you so much for the Ko-fi donation. The donation. It's slipping down a little bit. So yes, that is the first thing that I want to talk about. The second thing I want to talk about is I was contacted by the lovely Hannah. You all know Hannah, I'm sure, from Hannah's Happy Space. And she contacted me after the last episode because I'd been talking about how the dog had been eating my Addy crochet hooks. And she said she had some spare that she wasn't using and did I want them. So thank you so much, Hannah. She actually sent me 4. The other one I'm already using on my... what's the word? Oh my word, I can't even think. Virus shawl. Goodness me. So I'm already using one on my virus shawl. I haven't shown that this week, so I've not done a lot on it, so there's no point. But yeah, so she sent me those and it came with this gorgeous card, which I love. I won't show you the back because she's written a little note on the back for me. But isn't it gorgeous? And I'm going to frame this. I love it so much. So thank you so much, Hannah. I really appreciate these and I will definitely put them to good use. So that is those. And if I haven't been spoiled enough, I also got a parcel from my friend Sue in Canada. I know. So we do send parcels to each other quite a lot. And she'd sent me a Christmas bag, which if I had my finger pulled out and I was doing Christmas in July, I could be using this, but I haven't. So I've got this gorgeous Christmas bag. These are her sock bags. that lining, isn't it gorgeous? I've got this one. And technically you can call this a Halloween bag, but I'll be using this soon enough. I love it. Look at this one. This is also a sock bag. And it's got a gorgeous green lining. Isn't it beautiful? And she sent me some fabric. And I can open it. And she'd put a note on this saying it's not for anything for the shop, it's for you. Look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? I just love it. Absolutely love it. So thank you so much, Sue. I also got chocolate as well. That's gone. It was funny because I'd sent her some chocolate and she sent me a message the other day, and she must have got her parcel last week, and she sent me a message the other day saying, oh, this chocolate's lovely. In fact, I think it was yesterday. And I'm like, how have you still got that? I got my parcel yesterday. My chocolate's gone. So I got that. And there is one more thing for incoming that I need to show you. Now, so after the last episode, somebody left me a comment regarding this book. I had a look at it and I thought, oh my God, this is something that I need. So this is the book. Now I bought this on Amazon. I think it was about £18 or something like that. I'll leave a link below to the Amazon link. Can you see that? Now, this is a book for basic designs for gloves, mittens, hats, sweaters. I think it's got cardigans in it. I've not had a real look in it yet. And it's got basic, how's the best word to say it? Basic gauge swatches. So whatever you want to make out of this book, you would just knit a gauge swatch, and then you would match your gauge to the basic pattern. So for instance, let me find one that I can explain easily. The hat. So it talks you around the basic anatomy of a hat. So you've got these hat options here. So it would be really easy to customise. And then you would do a gauge swatch. It tells you roughly how much yarn that you'll need. And it'll give you, to fit sizes, like 0 to 6 months, all the way up to an adult large. So you'll do a gauge swatch, and depending on what you get in your gauge swatch, it'll tell you how many to cast on and give you a basic pattern. So it'd be really easy to customise that once you know what you're doing, which I think is fantastic. It's also got TAMs. I know Alice from the Socksy Nana Alice podcast has been making some of these. So it's got those as well. And again, it talks you through the basic anatomy and then starts at 6 months and goes up to adult large. You've got tips. Now, a lot of these, the garments are knitted flat, but they'd be easy to customise into the round. Even got socks. I didn't see this on my first flick through. It's even got socks. Wow. How did I miss the socks off? And it tells you the different edges as well. It's just brilliant. So you've got sock legs, single rib, double rib, rolled edges, picot edges, which is something I've wanted to do for a while. Vests. It's just brilliant. And then it'll go into sweaters, I think, or cardigans. And then sweaters. It's just absolutely fantastic. I think every knitter should have one of these books. I really do. It's got a section at the back for personal notes, so you could, at the back of it, you could write all your sizes down in your gauge swatches. I just think it's absolutely brilliant. It's by Anne Budd, and it's called The Knitter's Handy Book of Patterns. So thank you so much for the recommendation for this book. I just think it's brilliant. It says on the back, consider the possibilities that you hold in your hands. More than 350 ways to warm all of the hands, heads, feet and bodies that you love. More versatile and useful than standard pattern books. The Knitter's Handy Book of Patterns features easy-to-follow charted instructions for the most popular knitted items: socks, mittens, gloves, hats, tams, scarves, sweaters and vests. All sized from baby or toddler to large adult, all written for multiple gauges to work with every weight of yarn from fine to bulky, plus a detailed glossary of techniques for beginning and advanced knitters. Both a pattern book and a reference book, the Knitter's Handy Book of Patterns is destined to become the most important, well-used and best-loved tool in every knitter's bag. Isn't it fantastic? So I am super pleased with that. So thank you so much for the recommendation. I'm going to have fun with that book. And that is everything for all the knitted things, I think. And there's been no crochet this week either. So we still have the make along running on Instagram. Don't forget, I'll put the hashtag on the screen. It's the hashtag inspiration make along. The prizes will be drawn again after the 1st of August, which I will announce on the podcast. And the giveaway, this is the last week that I'm going to run the giveaway. So if you want to be entered into our giveaway, which is for 1,000 subscribers, you need to comment on episode 34 and you need to put 1k in your comment. And then next week I'll be drawing the prize winners for that. There are 4 prizes and I do talk about what the prizes are in episode 34. So if you're new, hop back to episode 34 and leave a comment there. And I'll talk more in the giveaway about that. But I'll be drawing prizes for that next week, hopefully, if it's a bit cooler. And that is everything. Thank you for those that sent Finlay well wishes for his few days at high school last week. He absolutely had a blast. He really enjoyed it. He made some new friends. It was just fantastic. So he went Wednesday, Thursday and Friday next week and he had an absolute blast. So thank you for those well wishes for Finn. He did really well. He doesn't break up from school till Monday. He's not had his leavers assembly yet. They cancelled it due to the heat, so it's actually tomorrow now. So yeah, I'm excited and nervous. I don't want to see the leavers assembly. It just, growing up, it just happens far too quick. And that has been about everything. We haven't done anything because it's been too warm. I know, I'm moaning again, but it has been too warm. The poor dog did not cope at all. Stuart was a nightmare. We had so many problems with Stuart. For those of you that don't know, Stuart is one of our cats. We have 5 cats and he's the fluffiest cat, he's the most mischievous cat, he's the naughtiest cat, he's the most lovable cat, he's the cheekiest cat, and he's just an all-round little ball of mischief. But in the sun, well, in the heat, he decided he would sit sprawled out in direct sunlight continuously. We had to keep bringing him in, cooling him down, and every opportunity he got, he just ran outside. He's got a lot of fur. He's got really long fur, and it was just a nightmare trying to keep that cat in. All the other cats found sort of cool spots in the house and sat there, but Stuart, he just wanted to lay in the sun and bask. We had some towels over the chairs in the garden, and at one point he was laid underneath the towels, and I'm like, you're going to just roast under there. So we had a right job on keeping him safe, but he's in, he's fine. The dog did not like it at all. It was too hot for her. She was panting and really struggled yesterday. I had the fan on her, but she didn't like it on her at all. So I had to keep putting the fan sort of near her, but so it wasn't hitting her. Bless her. Danny kept having to douse her with cool water, but yeah, she's all right now. She's finally sleeping now and she's much more comfortable. So I hope that you all managed in the heat. Us UK people, we're just not used to it. And there will be some vlogs going up this week, I should think. We're going to do the Q&A at some point. I don't know whether we're going to do it today or... When are we doing the Q&A, Danny?
It's probably looking like today or tomorrow.
Probably do that today. So we're going to get that done, and then there'll be a vlog up at some point this week, I'm sure. And hopefully I will get the sock... Oh, God, I can't even speak. Oh, my word, I am so sorry. This is such a terrible podcast. I am so sorry. It's the heat. We'll get a sock tutorial started over the next few days as well, so that should be coming in a couple of weeks. What I'm going to do with the sock tutorial is I'm not going to film bits and upload it straight away. I'm going to wait till I've filmed all parts to the sock tutorial and upload all together. So there will be more than one video, but it just makes it easier for me. When I did the amigurumi, the Lady Violet tutorial, I filmed it all separately, and it was a bit of a pain trying to make sure I had everything right. So I'm going to film all the videos together and then upload them all together so I know everything's right, and then publish them together. So it will take a little bit longer to upload, well, get ready, but they'll all be there together when it's ready, so hopefully a couple of weeks. And that is it for me rambling. I'm going to go. I'm going to leave you all in peace. I will see you next week when hopefully I'm having less trouble with words. And I hope you all have a lovely, lovely crafty week. Thank you for watching, everybody. Bye.